fire takes flight and leaves its wake, so sharp, so bright. You gleam and glimmer, and in a blink, carve the sky with fiery ink.
Hello citizens, today we're going to be reviewing the RSI Meteor, Star Citizen's latest medium fighter that thinks it's a fancy apartment, on rocket fuel. It's built to hit hard, live comfortably, and hopefully not explode. So what is the RSI Meteor? Well, basically, RSI took the Mantis chassis, yanked out the interdiction gear, and slapped on 2 size 5 ballistic cannons, 4 size 3 lasers, missile racks, and even threw in a bed, kitchenette, and a toilet. It's the one ship where you might get hungry mid-flight, you know. According to Massively OP, the Meteor fields 2 size 5 ballistic cannons said to pack a punch, plus repeaters and missile racks. It's designed to be lived in and used for regular daily space travel and mission running, despite its combat loadout. Okay, so let's talk about flight stats. SEM cruise speed is around 229 meters a second, afterburner to 570, and nav speed up to 1405. So straight line speed is excellent, but maneuvering is where it feels like it's turning a bus. Exact trade-off, high top speed, less nimble turning. From the official Q&A, Mantis has higher SEM speed, while Meteor has higher nav speed, at expense of minor rotational and maneuvering performance. Okay, so it's not going to be outmaneuvering other fighters, but what about the weapon loadout? Well, standard loadout includes 2 bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons, 4 size 3 FL-33 lasers, size 4 missile racks, size 3 missile racks swappable down to size 1 missiles if you want mosquito style salvos. According to Massively OP, 2 size 5 ballistic cannons are the headline weapons, backed by repeaters and missile racks for heavy firepower. According to one Reddit critique, Leonid's 1333 burst DPS makes it look quite weak. It has less DPS than quite a few size 4 lasers. And another user adds, bespoke size 5s. The size 5 Alpha Strike is great, but this ship is not designed to have the size 5 used with the size 3. Making it crystal clear these guns would be extremely hard to use in combination. You know, I think maybe it's time to jump into Star Citizen, get this ship out, have a proper look at it in the metal, and more importantly, do some combat training. See you in Star Citizen. Okay guys, here we are in Star Citizen, and full disclosure, I have changed the default loadout because I'm going to be honest, as with a lot of the ships in this game, the default loadout sucks. Especially the weapons. Okay, they're too slow. Unless you're fighting something like a Polaris or a Constellation, you're not really going to hit much. So before I get the ship out, I'm going to quickly show you the loadout I've selected, which I feel is probably one of the best loadouts for this ship. And we'll go through that and then take it from there. First things first, I've equipped the Shimmer livery. In my opinion, it's the best looking one. Prove me wrong, leave a comment. I think it's the best looking one, personally speaking. Over in systems, removed one cooler. Cooler one's a snowblind. Power plant, GS300. You could go stealth. You might find yourself a little bit pip hungry. I like to go for the JS. I like to have my pips full as much as possible. That's my choice. It works for me. Quantum drive, Spectre. Yep, I know it's a bit slow. But the benefit is when you drop out of Quantum, your signature is going to be lower, giving you just that little bit more stealth, less likely to be detected. For the shield generators, we've gone with 2 Palisades. In the weapons, I've not changed any missiles yet. I plan to do that at some point. I haven't got around to it yet. So by default, we get the Raptor 4 missiles, and we get the Dominator 2 missiles. Now here's the changes I have made. I've replaced the FL cannons with the Ardor 3s. In my opinion, it gives a good balance of damage and speed. Okay, it may not be able to take down a Gladius if it's in the hands of a skilled pilot, but it does a lot of damage to other ships that find it a bit more difficult to avoid them, like the Corsair for example. So I've gone with the Ardors, one of the best weapons in the game in my opinion. You might think differently and that's fine. but best of a loadout I've gone with, so let's go ahead and call the ship up and give you guys a look around it. And here she is, the beautiful Meteor. You know, I do think it's a beautiful ship. Some people disagree with that. I think it's beautiful. So coming at it from the back doesn't work anymore like it worked in the Mantis. We've changed it back here so you can no longer walk underneath. So to get in, you have to go around to the front. But hey, that gives us a good opportunity to look at these beautiful guns. Look at those. They're so big. And the R doors are located on either side of the cockpit. And to get in, we just walk under here, and just like in the Mantis, we have an elevator. So one of the first things you notice in here is, even though it's a medium fighter, we have a bed, so we can do bed logging, which I think is pretty cool. At the back here, this is where your coolers go. Over here, open it up, and we have your power plant, quantum drive, a shield generator, a fuse, which I imagine is going to get some use when engineering comes into the game. Up here on this end, we have your other shield generator in there, and most of you guys might know this already, but I think it's pretty cool anyway. This little section down here is a little hidden feature. To open that, you find the button up here. Go ahead and click open. How cool is that? I think that is just awesome they've added that in. And open it up, we get a little bit of storage. I say a little bit, it's 450k micro SCU, so pretty respectable storage. But you also get some storage over here, under the bed. You have a personal storage. And I believe you can pop some weapons here. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not sure yet if you can pop weapons there and then store it. I imagine you probably could. That would make a lot of sense if you could do that. When you're done putting your things away in storage and hiding your guns, you just go ahead and hit close, and down it goes. Up here we have the one and only seat in the ship, the pilot master seat. So we're going to go ahead and sit in here. I like it's a quick animation as well. If you ever tried to get in and out of a Talon, it takes forever. You're likely to die of old age just getting in and out. Instantly you have your two MFDs right in front of you. I'll go ahead and start up the systems.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the work. System check.
Plenty of visibility while flying all the MFDs. And as you can see with my current loadout, I've got plenty pips. Every slot that you need, completely full. You don't need to run them full pips at all times. If you want to be a little bit stealthier, of course, you can reduce that until you're ready to attack. You can already see the EMs dropping down there, so with those reduced, we're currently at 8k and still going. 7k. About 6k you get with those pips removed from the power loadout. So I'm going to go ahead and put those back. And let's take a look at the outside of the ship. So again, I've got that shimmer paint on there, which I think is absolutely stunning. You can't really see it that well here. I will take off and we can have a proper look outside of the station. I'll take it down to a planet so you guys can have a proper look at it. But you can see the cannons and the gun layout so much better here. And you can see at the back you can tell of course it's on the Mantis chassis, but it does look drastically different. A lot more edges, angles, not as smooth, a little bit scarier. So I'm going to go take this down to a planet to give you a proper look in the sunlight, and we can take it from there. Okay, here we are down in the sun, and you can see the paint so much better. And you can see all the beautiful lines of the ship. There's no denying it is a beautiful ship. The designers have done very well on this one. I love how the paint just changes shade ever so slightly as you move around in the light. Before we go and take this for some combat testing, let's very quickly talk about the combat strengths and weaknesses so we know basically what we're working with. It's essentially a high risk, high reward fighter. A glass cannon with a punch really, but low shields, 2 size 1, and minimal armor means if you're going to get hit then expect to die, pretty much. And reclaim timers, well, don't wait, you'll be better with a Gladius. It has a wide canopy with excellent visibility. It also has the strike advantage, if you can land your shots early that is. You're probably best using it as a hit and run alpha striker. Strike fast, move fast, live to beam another day. Let's take a closer look at these size 5 weapons, because really, these are the showstopper for this ship. If I remember right, when we fire, we get 2 shots, 1 out of each barrel, which over the 2 guns leads to 4 total, so let's quickly test that out. Yep, that's definitely 2 shots per gun. And the sound, they sound super fucking good, I love that. Oh, that is nice. Take a view from a different angle. Oh, that animation at the back is super nice. You can see the hydraulics going in. That's nice. But it does bring us to the downside. They are semi-auto. So, unlike the lasers, which will keep firing if you hold the trigger, in order to fire these, you need to fire, let go of the trigger, and then pull it again. If you have a stick with multiple trigger stages, that's not a huge problem, but just something to be mindful of, especially if you're a mouse user. So I currently have my joystick set up so that when I pull the trigger to the first stage, all of the ardors will fire. If I pull it to the second stage, I'll also get the cannons joining in as well. The good thing about that is I can keep firing, fire the cannons, let go of the second stage, the ardors will continue to fire, and after the cannons have reloaded, we go again. But it is very slow firing. Keep that in mind, it's a very slow rate of fire. And the projectile speed isn't great either. In fact, there isn't really much slower. That's part of the reason why I set up the ardors. And ardors, in my opinion, just complement the ship so much more. You can also substitute those for attritions if you do not have access to the ardors. Personally, I don't think you're going to be killing any light fighters with this ship, but could you imagine for a second a light fighter flying in and somehow using the ballistics and ardors, you just single or double shot them and boom, they're gone? Just hitting somebody with your guns, then walk into the fridge for a snack before they can even blink. That's pretty much Meteor life if you can pull it off. It's kind of like a battle apartment. Just don't drop crumbs around the weapons bay. I do not have money to pay for a cleaner. Anyway, you guys probably want to see how this performs in combat. So let's go test that out real quick, and then we can sum up our thoughts on the ship at the end. Let's go. Okay, so we have a moderate risk bounty here. This would be a cakewalk in a Gladius or a Hornet. Let's see how the Meteor is going to do. Let's check out these size 4s, size 4 missiles. Okay, they seem to be on target. But how much damage will they do? Did a bit of damage. That's respectable. Let's see if we can take care of this one first.
Radar contact. Enemy down.
Okay, that was easy. I do think the Ardors did most of the work there.
Enemy down.
Another one down. Okay. This one might be a little bit harder.
Radar contact. Shields damaged.
You know, it's doing better than I thought it would. But to be fair, I also am taking a lot of hits. I think if I had the default shields, they would be pretty low right about now. It's all about timing that ballistic shots. There's no point in firing them off if you know they're going to miss. I think being closer is definitely better in this situation. That was definitely a lot easier than I thought it would be. Maybe we should try a high risk. When we get into range, we'll go ahead and start with our missile volley of our size 2 missiles.
Target acquired.
Okay, I see the main target, but where's all the other ones? Where's all the other enemies? I'm not seeing them.
Shields damaged. Radar contact.
There we go. And just instantly, going red instantly. There we go. Okay. We need to go and try fight some of these other fighters. We need to. Oh, taking fire. Here we go. We're getting some shots in. Not as much as I would like. The Gladius would have had this Gladiator down by now.
Enemy down.
Okay, that's one. We have a Buccaneer. Trying to time my ballistic shots so that they're not wasted. Not as easy as you would think. And obviously this is not a light fighter, so we just don't have that maneuverability of a Gladius. And I can really feel it. Even though it's just an NPC, trying to keep this light fighter on my nose isn't the easiest in this. But the palisades are holding.
Enemy down.
Splash Buccaneer. And we have another one. Yeah, at that distance, the ballistics were a complete miss. I wasn't hitting that. But that time I fucking did. Nice. Okay, do we have any left? I'm not picking up any more enemies. Okay. So we know for sure it can do moderate and high risk bounties. But that's not too bad actually. It performed better than I was expecting. I won't lie. Those explosions are always so satisfying. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to checkmate and we can talk a little bit more about the ship on the way.
Shields on. Multi-drive is out.
So, I was expecting that the ship is going to get a little bit more beat up than what it actually did. So I'm not going to be able to give you a full repair cost, but we can have a quick look at the missile cost. So to restock it, it's going to be 65k. That's not bad. I mean, well, especially when you compare it to a Polaris single torpedo, that is very reasonable. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's not too expensive. Let's quickly take care of those other ones while I'm here. And we're good to go, good to store and use again another day. So to sort of sum things up, who do I think the Meteor's for? I think if you're a tactical pilot who plans strikes, wants style, and doesn't mind delicate gear, then you know what, the ship actually might be for you. Don't expect dogfight dominance, expect satisfying destruction with a coffee in hand. The firepower's great, the durability is meh, but if you upgrade the shields you get a little bit more out of it. Speed is excellent, interior's cozy enough to nap in, but dogfighting, nope, not gonna happen. I think if you're running the ship, stick to medium threat missions. Don't chase agile dogfighter solo, NPC's fine but PvP definitely not. And stay in squad for maximum efficiency. As one Reddit user pointed out, this ship will absolutely smoke as part of that second volley attack squadron in a group. If you're part of an org, this could be a good shout to take along as a sort of support combat ship. It's stylish, there's no doubt about that. One thing I did actually notice is if you look at the back from the top, it's so cool. I love this about the ship. It looks almost Starfleet-esque. My thoughts are it could honestly be a Discovery era updated Defiant. It matches everything about the Defiant. It's a lot of firepower in a small package, definitely punching above its weight. It has a bed, kitchen, it's a Defiant. This is Star Citizen's answer to the Defiant. So it's stylish, it's deadly, it's expensive. Okay, for what it is, I don't think it's worth what it's currently being sold for on the pledge store. It's kind of like the spaceship equivalent of buying a sports car for mini fridge and arguing that it's practical. Is it worth it? Well, it depends on wherever you want to punch or to picnic. To be quite honest, I'm glad I bought it. I want to be part of the Meteor story. I love the ship, I absolutely love it. It's great. And if I was just sticking solely to PvE content, I think this would be a great addition. For PvP, I'm still taking the Gladius. This thing cannot compete with the Gladius, it cannot compete with the Hornet, but it's an amazing ship, I love it. I just love it, I love what it is. Even though in PvP it's not useful, I still love it. But the price on the pledge store is too expensive for what it is, in my opinion. Would I recommend somebody else buy it? You know, if they drop the price or got a big buff, maybe if the cannons were changed to Gatling or laser cannons or something, I don't know. Definitely not semi-automatic. But I think it's worth a look. If it ever comes to being in-game, either through credits or through Wicklow, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's good fun. But anyway, that's it for this review. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye for now.